Hey guys, Simple Smeargle here. Welcome to Professor Bulba's Top 10 Weirdest Pokemon Species and Translations of Generation 2. Let's get to it. Number 10. Shuckle is the mold Pokemon. Mold? Like the stuff you find on old bread? I guess so, since its Japanese species name is Fermentation Pokemon. Its Diamond and Pearl entry reads, it stores berries in its shell. The berries eventually ferment and become delicious juices. Shuckle wine. Number 9. Swinub is the pig Pokemon, whereas Piloswine is the swine Pokemon, which is weird since in Japanese they are the pig boar and wild boar Pokemon respectively. How about we combine them and make them into the wild pig Pokemon? Free range bacon. But Swinub is an ice type, so I guess it's more like a wild baconsicles? Number 8. The starter Pokemon evolutionary species line for Generation 2 is a little bit odd. Cyndaquil is the fire mouse Pokemon. Aww. But then it suddenly turns into the volcano Pokemon when it evolves into Quilava and Typhlosion. Totodile, however, is the big jaw Pokemon. And being the slack-jaw yokel he is, he stays as the big jaw Pokemon through the rest of his evolutionary line. Chikorita and Bayleaf are the leaf Pokemon. But once it evolves, Meganium is the herb Pokemon. This is a little odd because the actual Bayleaf is a type of herb. Maybe the people at Game Freak were smoking some leaves, man. I mean herbs when they were coming up with those ones. Number 7. Anyone here an arachnophobic? Well, fear not. Ariados isn't a spider, but rather a long-legged Pokemon. And besides, he only has 2 eyes. How many 2-eyed long-legged creatures do you know that would hurt anyone? Except for giraffes. Never turn your back on a giraffe. Number 6. Marrow manages to change from the Aqua Mouse into the Aqua Rabbit Pokemon through evolution, as if the possibility of its gender being changed upon its first evolution wasn't enough. Yes, that's right. Evolving an Azurill into Marill has a 25% chance of changing its gender from female to male. Number 5. Steelix is the infamous Steel-type Pokemon. Well, sort of. Steelix species is actually the Iron Snake Pokemon. That's right, your whole life has been a lie. Steelix is made of iron. What's the difference? Well, primarily, iron is an element, while steel is an alloy comprising of iron and carbon. I'll just stick with my crystal onyx, please.
Aren't you a nice honey? Yes, you were.
Number 4. Mischievous is the Screech Pokemon. Its gold entry reads, it likes playing mischievous tricks such as screaming and wailing to startle people at night. I think I like the original Japanese version better, which classified it as the Nightcry Pokemon. So Mischievous is Thriller? Number 3. Slowking in English is known as the Royal Pokemon, whereas in Japan, he is known as the Monarch Pokemon. I don't know about you guys, but something seems so much more regal about the title of Monarch. But then I remembered it's a Slowpoke, and then I stopped caring. Number 2. Teddiursa is the little bear Pokemon. And no, not that little bear. Teddiursa's Japanese species is small bear. Alright, not that far of a stretch. But then, if we look at Natu, who in Japanese is small bird Pokemon, we see it's translated into tiny bird Pokemon. What's up with that? And before we get to number 1, I have to bring attention to Magby, the live coal Pokemon. My thoughts immediately went to this. That would have been an interesting crossover. Number 1. Phanpy is the long-nosed Pokemon. Long? I'm sure there's an insensitive Asian joke in there somewhere. Where was I? Yes, going around about length. Apom is the long-tailed Pokemon. Ferret is the long-body Pokemon. And Girafarag is the long-neck Pokemon. Seems like Generation 2 is really focused on length. Just remember guys, it's not the size, it's how you use it. Hey, stop! Where are you going? Add Professor Bulba on Google+. Also, notice there are now playlists for different videos on this channel. Before I go, I'd like to leave you some words of wisdom. It doesn't matter what species you are, so long as you're not a giraffe. This has been the Simple Smeargle. See you later.